The night Adrian Blake returned to his childhood home, the moon seemed to hang lower than usual, too still, too pale, as if it were watching him. The taxi's headlights died behind him, leaving only the whisper of the wind and the faint creaking of the old porch swing swaying on its own, though the air was barely moving. He swallowed hard. He hadn't been back in 17 years. Not since the night his sister vanished. Everyone said she ran away. But Adrian knew better. He heard her scream. He saw the light beneath her door flicker like a dying heartbeat. And then the silence, that horrible, suffocating silence. Now he was back, not because he wanted to be, but because his mother was gone. The house was legally his. And her final voicemail had been nothing short of chilling. Adrian, please, don't come at night. The house still remembers. He had listened to that message over and over again. Every word. Every tremble. Every ragged breath. He didn't understand any of it. Until now. Because standing in front of the house he grew up in, staring at its dark windows, he suddenly understood something he'd been avoiding his entire adult life. He wasn't just scared of this house. He was terrified of what it held. Adrian stepped inside. The air was colder than outside. Much colder. His breath fogged instantly. The door shut by itself. He jumped and spun around. The door was locked. But he hadn't locked it. Okay, he whispered. It's just old. Wood shifts. Houses settle. But even his voice didn't believe it. He moved through the narrow hallway, his footsteps echoing too loudly, as if the house were empty yet listening. The wallpaper was peeling, the floorboards sagged, and a faint smell of lavender, his sister Lily's perfume, seemed to drift through the air. He stopped breathing. He hadn't smelled that in years. He told himself he was imagining it. Just nostalgia playing tricks. But the scent grew stronger, more vivid, until it was unmistakable. Fresh. Recent. Like she had just walked through the hallway moments ago. His heart hammered. Hello. Adrian whispered. Something moved at the end of the hall. A shadow. Small. Barefoot. Child-sized. He froze. Lily. Silence. Then something whispered his name. Soft. Close. Almost brushing against his ear. Adrian. He stumbled back, hitting the wall. No. That's not possible. But the whisper came again, this time from upstairs. He didn't want to go up. Every instinct screamed at him to run. Get out. Leave. But he forced himself to climb the stairs. Every step groaned beneath him. Halfway up, he paused, his body shaking. There it was again. The scent of lavender. Stronger now. Thick in the air. He reached the top step. Something was wrong. The hallway upstairs was impossibly dark, darker than darkness should be. As if the shadows weren't just shadows. As if they were alive. Adrian reached for the switch and flicked it. Nothing. He cursed under his breath and used his phone flashlight. The beam cut through the darkness, but the walls seemed to absorb it. His stomach twisted. He walked slowly down the hall. Past the bathroom. Past the closet. Until he reached the door at the end of the hall. Lily's room. His hand shook as he turned the knob. The door opened with a soft, long creak that sounded almost like a sigh. The room was exactly as he remembered. The small wooden dresser. The stuffed bear missing an eye. The glow-in-the-dark stars stuck to the ceiling, most peeling, some hanging by a corner. And her bed. Unmade. Like she had just gotten out of it. The smell of lavender was overwhelming now. And something else, something damp. Warm. Faintly metallic. His flashlight trembled. There were footprints on the wooden floor. Small footprints. Wet footprints. Leading from the bed to the window. Adrian moved forward slowly, his body heavy, his throat tight. The footprints stopped at the window. But the window was locked. A soft tapping sound echoed behind him. Tap, tap, tap. He spun around. The closet door was rattling. Tap, 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 as if someone inside was gently knocking. "No, no, no," Adrian whispered, stepping back. The knocking abruptly stopped. Silence. Then the door cracked open on its own. Just an inch. Just enough to let the darkness seep out. Adrian forced himself closer, his mind screaming, his breathing shallow. He pushed the door open, and froze. There was a girl standing inside. She was maybe 9 years old. Pale skin, wet hair, bare feet, a white dress clinging to her like she'd been caught in the rain. Her eyes were the worst part. Wide, dark, empty. She stared at him without blinking. Adrian couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. The girl stepped forward. The closet light flickered above her, once, twice, 3 times. Then the power died completely. The room plunged into darkness. Adrian stumbled back, fumbling with his phone. The flashlight blinked crazily, glitching. The girl whispered, "Why did you leave me?" His heart stopped. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. "You said you would protect me." His legs gave out and he fell backward onto the floor. "I waited for you." Her voice cracked, broke, warped. "And you never came back." Adrian's entire body trembled. "I'm sorry," he choked. "I'm so sorry." The flashlight flickered back on. She was gone. But the footprints, the smell, the air, it had changed. Thick, heavy, charged. Then he heard it. A soft, high-pitched giggle behind him. He spun around. Lily's stuffed bear was sitting upright. But it wasn't sitting like a normal toy. It was propped, deliberately, facing him. He backed away until he hit the wall. "Stop," he whispered. "Please stop." The bear's head tilted slowly. Its one remaining eye reflected the flashlight beam. Then its small stitched mouth began to split, rip, tear, widening into something grotesque. Something not meant for a toy. Adrian dropped the phone. The light hit the floor, spinning, flashing against the walls like lightning. And the bear whispered, "You left her." Adrian ran. He bolted out of the room, down the hall, down the stairs, nearly tripping. He burst into the living room, chest heaving, sweat pouring down his face. His phone buzzed in his hand. A voicemail. From an unknown number. He pressed play with trembling fingers. His mother's voice. But not the version he remembered. Not warm. Not soft. This voice was panicked. Broken. Terrified. "Adrian, she's still here. She never left the house. She's been looking for you. Don't go upstairs. Don't go into her room. Don't." Static exploded in his ear. Then a different voice entered. A child's voice. Wet. Echoing. Distorted. "Adrian, come play with me." He dropped the phone and backed into the dining table, knocking over a chair. "No, no, this can't be happening." But the house replied. The lights flickered on. Then off. Then on again. Shadows moved across the walls, shapes he couldn't recognize, bending and twisting unnaturally. A cold wind swept through the house, though every window was shut. Then the front door, locked moments ago, creaked open. Just an inch. Just enough to tempt him. Adrian stepped toward it. Every instinct told him to run. To leave. To never come back. But something pulled him the other way. A memory. The last night he saw Lily. Her tiny hand gripping his shirt. Her tear-filled whisper. "Don't leave me alone tonight." But he had left. Because he was 12. Because he was scared of the strange lights under her door. Because the whispering voices he heard that night weren't hers. He abandoned her. And she disappeared. Now the truth was crawling back toward him, inch by inch, through the walls of this house. Thunder rumbled outside. The sky roared. Rain hammered against the windows. Adrian steadied his breathing. "I'm not running," he whispered. Not again. He turned from the door and walked deeper into the house, into the dark, into the memories, into the truth. The basement door slowly opened as he approached, swinging inward by itself. A wave of icy air rushed out. He descended the creaking wooden steps, each one older than his memories. The basement smelled of earth and rust. His flashlight flickered desperately. Halfway down, he heard it. Breathing. Soft. Behind him. He didn't turn. He reached the bottom and scanned the room. Tools on the wall. Old paint cans. A rusted sink. And in the center of the room, a single wooden chair. Facing the wall. Something was sitting in it. A figure. Small. Still. He swallowed. Lily. The figure's head twitched. Once. Then slowly turned toward him. The flashlight glitched and died completely. He was plunged into darkness. Then a whisper breathed into his ear. You came back. His skin crawled. His voice cracked. I'm here now. I'm here. You left me alone for so long. I'm sorry. You said you'd protect me. I know. You lied. Adrian fell to his knees, shaking violently. I didn't understand. I was a kid. A cold, tiny hand touched his cheek. He choked on a sob. I never wanted you to be afraid of me, the voice whispered. But the house, it changed me. He felt her breath, icy, hollow, brush his skin. It wouldn't let me leave. His heart shattered. Lily, I'm taking you with me. I'm not leaving without you. Silence. Then, you can't take me. Why not? Because I'm already dead. The room exploded with cold. A scream, hers, echoed around him. The walls shook. Chains rattled. The house roared with a deep, violent tremor. Adrian covered his ears and shouted her name. Then, everything stopped. Silence. For a second he thought he had lost her. Then a soft, small voice whispered, You can't take me, but you can free me. How? He cried. Break the house. Confusion twisted through him. Break the house? I don't understand. The house is alive. Her voice trembled. It feeds on fear. It keeps what it takes. It took me. He stood slowly, determination hardening in his chest. What do I do? Burn it. He froze. But if I burn it, I'll lose everything. You already did. He closed his eyes. Tears fell. She was right. He opened them again, and the basement lights flickered back on for the first time in years. The chair in the center of the room was empty, but on the seat lay her stuffed bear. The same one with one eye. The one that whispered earlier. Except now, it looked small again. Innocent. Lifeless. Adrian reached into his pocket and pulled out a lighter he used for camping. He flicked it. A small flame danced. This won't hurt you, right? Her voice echoed softly around him, fading, distant, hopeful. It will free me. He swallowed his fear and dropped the lighter onto a pile of old newspapers. The fire grew fast, too fast, racing up the walls, across the ceiling, devouring the house with a hunger that felt unnatural but necessary. The house screamed. He sprinted up the stairs as the flames roared behind him, grabbing the railing with burning hands. The hallway was filled with smoke. Windows shattered from the heat. He reached the front door, and it slammed shut in his face. The house wasn't letting him go. He threw his shoulder into it. Once. Twice. Again. A hand touched his back. Small. Cold. But pushing. Helping. The door burst open. He dove outside and rolled into the wet grass just as the roof collapsed behind him. The house burned wildly, violently, unnaturally. Sparks filled the sky. And for one moment, just one, through the flames of the upstairs window, he saw Lily, smiling, whole, free. Her lips formed the words, "Thank you." Then she vanished. And the house finally died. Adrian lay in the yard, rain soaking him, tears mixing with the downpour, chest heaving. For the first time since he was 12, he felt peace. But as he stood and turned away from the burning wreckage, his phone buzzed. A new voicemail. From an unknown number. Against his better judgment, he pressed play. A child's voice whispered, "Now it's your turn to stay with me." The call ended, and the smell of lavender drifted through the night.